Hello and welcome to the Work.Rest.Pray podcast. Five years ago this March, the world changed. The normal soundscape of life was silenced. Yet within it all, amidst the deathly despair, came sounds of a living hope. I record this episode on the UK's COVID-19 Day of Reflection, and we remember how, after a couple of weeks of anticipation, in March 5 years ago, the then Prime Minister Boris Johnson addressed the nation, saying, "From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home." Perhaps you remember where you were at that time. We'd seen the reports of this virus in Asia, then the first case in the UK, then the harrowing news reports from inside hospitals, the lockdowns and restrictions on movement, the wearing of face masks and social distancing. Some were told to shield. There was the closing of churches, the deaths, the ever-increasing deaths. Within all those losses, we regained, though, a concern for others, acts of kindness and generosity and appreciation. Churches holding services online. We stood in the street and clapped the NHS. Vaccinations were developed. Restrictions were eased and reinstated. There was also a sense that we didn't want to go back to normal. Amidst the worst of times, things have been found and refound about the best of humanity. And now, 5 years on, the world is in another mess. We live in a world where misinformation rules and truth has to be verified, where nation rises up against nation. The NHS, so lauded back then, is, in the words of others, broken. Our churches are not as safe as we thought they should be. And yet, there are still many good things in our world. Many of us have very good experiences of the NHS. Our churches, at least at a parish level, are showing signs of life and growth. So on this day of reflection, what have we learnt? As Lent begins, we recall it was in the wilderness time that Jesus found himself in a difficult terrain, not just that of the desert itself, but in being tempted and tormented by the devil. We might find ourselves reflecting on the wilderness time of the pandemic lockdowns. We were perhaps tempted to break the rules, as some did, and we were certainly tormented by the circumstances which surrounded us. The Church of England's theme this Lent is Living Hope. In Lent, we journey with Jesus on the difficult and thorny road that leads all the way to the cross on Good Friday, and beyond, to the transformation of Easter Day. God invites us to bring to him our own journey through faith. The hope God offers us is not wishful thinking. It is, as the Bible suggests, something alive, real, robust, rooted. In the disappointment of daily setbacks and the pain of deeper hurts, we discover that God is present with us through it all, and God promises a future where all things are healed and made new. So as we look back on a time which was difficult and life-challenging, may we also look forward to a hopeful and life-enriching Lent. Alluding to the words of St. Benedict, the Benedictine monk Thomas Cardong advocated that life is to be a continuous Lent and look forward to Holy Easter with joy and spiritual longing.